think that's something that obviously with Fearless you have a lot more pocket picks that you have prepared, ready to dive into. You're forced to expand those pools, and obviously players like Carrier are the sorts of players who've already had a very expanded and eclectic champion pool. And it's cool to see opportunities like this to bring it out. We'll see if we get any more of those today. We talked already about the bot lane matchup, but I'm happy to see that, especially with how much income these AD carries are getting with, you know, cashback and the role quests. And the fact that, you know, when we go late, when they get the full real 6 items or close to that, just so much power in the role. So FaZe and Dabble going head-to-head, want to see what they can do.
Yeah, we are jumping in a draft. Of course, Rofs, right, a first selection did go to T1. They chose first pick, so they have first ban as well. We're not letting many of our mid laners play Azir very often, and we're not going to let Faker do it this time, like the ban of Yunara against Diablo as well.
It's interesting because it's something they have definitely prioritized. You know, they played Yunara, Lulu together a lot, but this pick, despite being the most played AD carry in the LCK, has been losing a lot, has been struggling quite a bit. And BFX going heavy on the mid lane pool, but the most played pick for Faker has been Ryze so far. He has been actualizing all over the place. So it's interesting, especially as they have first pick, that they could just pick up the Ryze here. And they don't ban the Cassiopeia, which I think is the right move, because if you do, you just telegraph. You just telegraph that you're going to pick Ryze.
And they also target ban Vikla. Vikla got that solo kill on Chovy's Azir with Akali, who does do well in the Akali versus Azir matchup. Also going to ban Carrier's Bard.
I think they're probably just going to pick up the Ryze situation.
Jace is available. That's the other pick that was on their minds, and they do slam lock that.
I did miss the fact that Jace just got left open, so yeah, that will come in. Rumble also available.
And Vi too, and Varus. A lot of great stuff left here.
Yeah, did kind of just tunnel vision on the Ryze, but a lot of power picks. A lot of poke as well with the Jace and Varus on both sides. I'm going to see T1 now opt to pick up Faker's pick. And they do.
Might as well, I mean.
Yeah, I also think the point-and-click CC, the setup for the Jace is really powerful. The fact that you can have that guaranteed route. This is kind of the thing, though, when one team bans both the Azir and Orianna, which you sometimes see let through and traded, is that you just end up with all these power picks going in. I am interested to see what Doran takes into the Rumble. I've seen a lot of teams just taking tanks into it. Keen has been someone who's massively punished that, going like first strike cashback and just farming off them.
Aurora
is something that you can play into it. Could just go for an 80 carry here though to match. Sivir is something we've seen a lot into the Varus. But actually, it's like we're getting Jace top.
Wow, how strange.
Yeah, so a big switch up here. We have not seen the Jace top at all this season. It's just been exclusively jungle, and even then it's just been banned a ton, so not much. So obviously with it being Fearless as well, that means Jace is out for the rest of the series via pick with a good amount of power. And BFX going to pick up the Taliyah for Vikla.
Yeah, Taliyah, I feel like, hasn't been the most impactful so far. We've seen some pretty good games of it, but definitely some ways for the Vi to get over the rocks, obviously, with the ult. Doesn't really enjoy using her Q over those rocks, but also very often used into the Ryze in the mid lane matchup.
I think the thing is as well is that Rumble often benefits from playing into champions. You can just bully out of the lane, and obviously Jace is also a lane bully, but I'm interested to see what Raptor can get in the jungle, because I feel like if you can just put the hit onto Doran and just pressure him, find opportunities to gank, that can make a big difference. Something like the Jarvan could have a lot of value here, especially since you know Ryze has no way to get out the Cataclysm. The Jace doesn't either. Also, in my mind, the Sivir is something that does well into the Varus, being able to spell shield a lot of his damage, being able to just shred waves in the way, and Jarvan obviously good into that. Pantheon also something that syncs well with the Taliyah and does well with at ganking. They are going to go for the Ambessa first and foremost, though.
Yeah, it's a top source of attack damage from the jungle, right? You already have that AP top, so Ambessa definitely up there with some of our best AD junglers, so they're going to take that off the board, but still another ban to go. They're going to take another ban into Keria, which I feel like generally outside of the Bard ban is not really a good idea because he can play literally anything. But still going to take away some of the best options for Keria. Curious what he will play this game.
Yeah, go for the Karma ban, you know, something that you can pair with things like Caitlyn, like Ezreal, and have a lot of lane pressure. And also, there's a lot of good items for it now on the current packs. They do ban away that Pantheon that syncs well with the Clear, and also a lot of gang pressure. I feel like Jarvan is, as I said before, something that kind of sticks out that's left available. They're going to prioritize the Nico now, though, and snap that one up. Makes sense with respect to the Karma ban. I feel like Karma is one of those picks that really can bully the Nico out in the laning phase.
Yeah.
T1 considering the Corki here. I think as well, the fact that you already know that it's a Nico and you don't know what else is going to be picked in the jungle, I think going something with a dash, definitely having that element of safety makes a lot of sense for Pays.
Yeah.
And it is a pick that does have a bit of lane pressure. But it is generally going to be a bit of a rougher lane. They're going to go for the Nami as well. We've seen Nami Corki before. Into Varus Nico, though. This is a hard lane to play into.
Yeah. We've seen a lot from GenG and their bottom lane duo. Duro seems to love to play the Nami for some reason. The Corki, though, feels very good. Kind of goes with anything. Looking at a Nocturne, actually, here. They're going to snatch that one up right away. So it is Nocturne alongside of Taliyah and Rumble.
It's a lot of dive threat, right? The Nocturne Nico can be so suffocating, especially you're playing into an Enchanter support, you're playing into a Jace. It does mean you're not going to have as much pressure pre-6, but as long as you can just track Owner, make sure he doesn't get any momentum early, I feel like once the ultimates come online for BNK PRX, they have so much threat on the map, so much playmaking potential, so much ability to punish this Jace. It just really comes down to, you know, the solo lanes, I think, for T1 are the scary thing right now. What is Doran going to do on this Jace early? What is Faker going to do? The last time we saw him on this Rise into Taliyah, he was into BDD and he solo killed him. So is Vikla going to be able to match up into that?
I mean, it looks like Vikla's laning is pretty good nowadays. Honestly, I feel like BDD has struggled a little bit, at least in the lane. He's still been good, but I feel like has been... Maybe just that solo queue is the solo kill rather is on my mind as well, but it does feel like he is falling to some other guys such as Faker. I think that Vikla will be just fine. I am curious to see how much value this Nocturne is going to get and if they can make the Nocturne Nico duo actually happen in some of these team fights. A very strong duo there, as we do have BNK up against T1 for game number 1. Game 1, match 19. We'll have match 20 later today. That's Bro versus KT. And then we move into Super Week, which is best of 5s, 1 per day, evenly matched teams. It's going to be a lot of fun next week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I think as well, I hope we're surprised because they are aiming to be generally evenly matched. I think some of them, with how things have played out, might not on paper be as evenly matched as we hoped, but we'll see.
GenG Life Esports.
I mean, you said it, but we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, best of 5 is always a different game, especially with Fearless. Keria Pays getting some good early pressure here.
It was definitely pressure. It pushed them back. They didn't do a whole lot of damage, but they did trade heals.
I'm excited to see how this lane plays out. I feel like once Diablo Calvin get control of the lane, it's going to be pretty difficult. There's a lot of sustain on the side of the Nami, but both lanes kind of trade in a similar way around having a good amount of burst. But I just feel like the poke from Calvin and Diablo is more severe. But if you get control of the lane like this, you're able to poke them out, use the ebb and flow effectively, you can be in a great spot. I just think the range is my main concern. You can throw the Pop Blossoms, very non-committal from a distance. The Varus as well. you know, outranges the Corki quite hard. But the fact they've gotten this early prio, pushed them back in, puts them in good stead for now.
And Diablo and Kellen are a very strong duo in the bottom lane. These guys had the most duo kills last year in the LCK. And they are up against FaZe and Keria, but certainly a duo to be respected that can get a lot of work done. So curious to see what they can do on the Varus and Nico.
Yeah, both supports actually getting an early recall in, getting a refillable each, and a control ward. So really just trying to ensure they have as much power in this lane as possible. And utilizing those home guards and the power of them. You know, committing those early potions just to try and have as much presence and trading power in the lane.
Yeah, can be very important. Raptor is coming up here. He is going to spot that Owner just took this one. As we had the question mark ping from T1 on the top scuttle. They didn't actually know exactly where Raptor was or where he had started. Or maybe they knew where he started but assumed he cleared the bottom side first and went to the top. But that was not the case as we saw him go. I think it was Raptors into top side clear. Then he finished off on the bottom side. And that puts him, you know, not able to get that scuttle ahead of Owner, who does pick it up.
Yeah, so not a major concern, but does put Owner in an okay position. You see both AD carries able to get a back off, get a tier. FaZe does have the refillable over Diablo here. But things panning out pretty evenly so far.
Yeah, just kind of farming it out. You know, no big action on the bottom side of the map. Teleport is used from Diablo, so he's not going to have that. FaZe brought the barrier this time. So might be able to utilize that. Raptor thinking about taking the Raptors.
It's his domain.
This is what this guy does. He just can't help himself with the Raptors. Needs to get in there and is willing to take the 1v1 versus Owner. Did not quite have his Q available, but now he's going to go in, gets a spell shielded. As I think Owner did smite away the big one.
Owner got the smite on the big one. This does mean, however, Raptor's free to take the Scuttle Crab uncontested. Keria getting some great trades in here with the ebb and flow hitting 2 targets.
Looks like the heal's up once again, which means it's time to trade. It's time to get aggro. And FaZe and Keria continue to have control of that bottom lane, which is very important. Not really giving an opportunity for Diablo and Kellen to get on the map here.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I think if you... Oh,
Diablo actually in a little bit of trouble. Has to flash in the 1v2 right after Kellen left.
If you let the Varus Nico keep you at a distance and just fire off skill shots, you're never going to have control of the lane. But, you know, Keria is moving forward, getting the double ebb and flow value. FaZe is pushing forward as well. And it's not a traditional way you play out the lane, right? They're kind of going in one at a time, but it's working out really effectively because they're baiting out the skills, and then they know that when they get up close and personal, they actually end up winning out. They have more auto damage than, you know, a poke Varus, who just doesn't really have that much threat, that much sustained auto attack damage compared to a Corki or even just a Nami with the ebb and flow.
Yeah, absolutely. So Diablo now down his flash. We do have Mountain Drake first. We also have Owner slightly ahead. I think he's, you know, about 1 camp ahead, and he is ahead on XP, although Raptor did just finish that camp off and has caught up, so totally fine. Should be hitting level 6 around the same time. And we're just biding our time. We're just waiting for the game to open up, for the action to begin.
I mean, Raptor's his 6 now, so that's a big point, right? Having that available. And I feel like we often talk about with Nocturne, that first ult, how much value you get, especially as he'll go Ultimate Hunter, and getting that early stack is always just a lot of value.
See the double root come in. It does look like they want to go for a bot dive here. Raptor is ready to go. The wall is as well from Vikla. And there's the wall. They're going to be split up a little bit. We'll see which target they do decide to go on, as the answer is kind of nobody. They just kind of wait around. There is first blood, but also a kill goes to FaZe. And so, yes, they do get the kill. They get the ultimate hunter stack. But now T1 is on the chase. They have this Vi ult as well. They're going in onto Diablo. Tons of damage does go into Owner, but it is traded out as Flash over the wall, and Pays collects a second kill and is feeling pretty good about his Corki pick here.
I think the initial play, BNK FearX, were like, okay, 1-for-1, we can take it. They did get the Realm Warp over, but T1 are like, no, we're not letting you get away with that one. Chase them down and end up getting 2 more on the exit. Faker gets a decent trade there, and the health from Carrier, so really getting a good trade. That Realm Warp, you know, when Owner and Faker turn up, immediately BNK FearX were like, okay, we need to get out.
Yeah.
A pretty telegraphed dive, you know, we all saw it coming, both teams saw it coming, and the fact that you get both jungle and mid in to make the counterplay ends up very favorably, and the gold gone exactly where you'd want it. You can see both of them moving over. The warning ping even comes out. They try and make it quick, but the bubble's great to buy time. And they're kind of just saying, okay, we trade kills, we get out. Kellen, unfortunately, actually takes aggro right at the end, so he's very low. But Owner's like, I am going. We're making this into more than it is. And Faker going very aggressive with Pays to confirm these kills. But it works out well, right? You got a kill on your Rise, 2 kills on your Corki. That's exactly where you want that money.
And we take a look at the damage dealt chart at 8 minutes into the game. Basically just highlighting the bottom lane doing a lot of damage.
Look how much damage Carrier has done as a Nami. That's what I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah.
You really, I expected this lane matchup, the Varus, Nico, so non-committal, you can just throw your poke out from a distance, but I think Pays and Carrier have not only done a great job of dodging a lot of the skill shots, but also Carrier was just walking up, bouncing the W, so it was healing him and hitting both targets on the opposite side, playing with a lot of confidence and not getting punished for it. So some great laning from the bot lane of T1 and Carrier in particular, really paying off and giving them an advantage already.
Carrier has kind of hid on Bush for a very long time. They're going to spot him now, but the tidal wave is already coming out into the bubble, as it is a very nice trade for the bottom lane of T1 once again. Even with Raptor here and Paranoia available, Owner also very close by. So some babysitting jungles on the bottom side of the map. That is what we often see.
Yeah, I think Carrier does need to be a little careful from this point onwards, just because with no flash into a Varus, into a Nocturne, and a Nico approaching level 6, those ultimates can just instantly cause your death. But he's still playing with a lot of confidence, so for the time being, happy just to trade those, but definitely a scary composition on the other side of the rift that can immediately punish any squishy champions, of which there are a good amount on the side of T1.
Yeah, pretty much everybody. I mean, Rise and Vi.
Right, yeah, those two are the tanks in your team, and they're bruisers, right?
Yeah. We haven't talked a lot about the top lane because, well, it is the top lane.
Remember when Tank Jace was a thing?
Yeah, that was not fair. Remember Tank Azir?
Oh, man.
It's just all these champs that are really good and do a lot of damage, but also are tanky with the right builds. So now they're thinking about clearing out vision. Not thinking about fighting. Absolutely not. Not a good idea. But T1 just enjoying about 1,000 gold lead and kind of just waiting by, you know. They have an actualizer in their dreams, and they're trying to actualize it.
Yeah, I don't think they're really in a rush in this game. I mean, the fights at any point, I feel, are going to be a little bit scary, spooky, right, into a Nocturne Nico. But I think that comp really holds up well into the later stages. Just that concern of you are a bit squishy. There is a lot of one-shot potential. One thing to note is that no real look towards the dragon yet, right? We're 11 minutes into the game, not even an attempt at this first dragon. So Soul going to be slow no matter what. And we've seen games on this patch, on this season, be slow. Especially Baron's hard to take, a lot of commitment needed, a lot of damage needed. Very hard to sneak a Baron, even for a team like T1, who we know they will just have a tendency, at least in the past, to start at 20 minutes. It's a lot harder to do. So with dragons being slow, this game could just go the distance.
Yeah, maybe BNK saw that KT game and they're like, well, we don't want to spawn Elder Drakes, so we got to be careful about taking these dragons early on. But they are eventually going to take this mountain, and it doesn't look like T1 really care. And to be honest, if I'm T1, I also don't care. because it's just one mountain, and also it's very late, so there's not a lot of pressure there, as you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the later the first dragon's taken, the less you really care about it, because, you know, dragons lead to soul, but the later it is, the less like the soul's going to happen. But still, BNK3X will pick it up. Do have our first role quest coming in. Clear has picked up his.
Yeah, pretty interesting that he's the one, but now Faker kind of in an awkward spot. Does have double sums, but rooted basically forever. He is tanky, though, already with the rod finished, and Kellen flashes away. Paranoia's coming in, but Owner had his sights set on the Nico and does pick up the kill. As now we have TPs arriving. Doran and Clear are here. No equalizer, though, as he used it on the wave earlier. Looking for Raptor. He has to flash away. The flash bubble comes in, and the tidal wave is there, but it already gained enough distance. And so T1 say, well, that's good enough. We got the 1 kill. Nice bait, Faker.
I think just drastically overestimating the damage for BNK3X. I mean, Talia has an uncompleted Seraphs. It's just, there's no real damage there. It's a support Nico, and you're into a Ryze who had a Rod of Ages and a Null Magic Mantle. And that extra little bit of MR when both your AP is going to make a difference. I think that could have been a different play if Varus was there or Nocturne was there, but just a very ambitious play that gets turned around pretty quickly. And also, when they commit onto Owner, I think Raptor, you have to expect the flash over the wall. If you're not going to follow, you're not going to get the kill. Now, in particular, Faker's gone the upgraded Merc Tread, so you know, that play didn't work there. It's definitely not going to work now.
And he just runs at Talia, Vikla in this case, and he doesn't take damage. Like, if there's ever a straight line, no junglers, I think Faker, as long as he can gain enough you know, proximity, as long as he can be close enough to Vikla, he will win those trades. So he's going to be looking for those as much as possible, even before he's scaled up, but way before he gets the second item. As Clear and Raptor are here, and that ward is just barely going to see him. Looks like
to spot him out.
Yep.
Yep. Kellen trying to pretend to be a minion.
I always like looking to see how fast they figure it out.
Wait, but he he autoed the minion, and then he had the proc from his support item. So he's just like, why did this minion just one-shot this other minion?
It's the new season. It's a new change.
New feature. Wow, this
team who's behind gets like a support item minion.
This minion is so buff. We need to take it down. Yeah. Everyone stand near it. Why is it rising up into the air?
Yeah. So this is the damage taken charts, and the majority of it goes over to Raptor. Next up is Faker, who did just get ganked, and Owner, who has been a lot of the action. And now he's going into it again, as Clear is going to flash away. Equalizer comes down, and T1 say, well, that's good enough. We'll just get his flash and back away.
It was a zoning equalizer. He was like ready for them to commit more, and they're like, no, you're good, bro. We got your summoner. We're fine.
Yep.
Yeah, Vikla just really not doing that much damage, but sending a message to Pays that he should leave, I guess.
Yeah.
Are looking towards the Herald now. Oh, they're going for the Nami.
Yeah, Keria kind of standing on a ward and not realizing it, and immediately just kind of dies.
This is one of the things with playing an Enchanter or just any squishy support into this comp. Also, Keria's gone the Dreammaker support item. And we sometimes see Celestial opposition come out, even on these, you know, Enchanters or these squishy supports. Like, you know, Kellen on Nico has gone Celestial opposition. That's why. Like, don't get me wrong, Dreammaker is really strong. And the value you get from it, you know, the damage block, the damage dealt, I 100% get it. I'm also a support player, can be very greedy. But,
you, no way!
But playing into this composition, it's a tough time. It is a tough time, especially when you don't have flash. So Keria does just get one shot there. It was a good arrow from the Varus as well, just clipping him to do that extra damage.
Faker running at them once again.
They actually broke the shield on the Merc Treads. Wow. Yeah, they so close to taking them down.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't commit more, you know, learn the lesson from last time.
Oh, trying to go for the all-in here under the turret. Doran gonna have to flash away.
Clear, probably a little bit shocked by that. Just like, okay.
Yeah, not ending up being the most effective. Did get him low, but also got himself low. So not exactly the trade they're looking for.
I would watch out.
Oh, flash on in. Diablo might be in a bit of trouble here. Does get ulted once again. And Nico finds 3, but he just dies immediately. And now finally the paranoia comes out and clear. Frontlining, but the Nocturne also taking a ton of damage from Pays before he went down to clear. And so pretty even trade there in the mid lane. 3 of them going down a piece.
I mean, that was just absurd value from the Rumble. I feel like that fight, honestly, was just very winnable for T1. Right, the Varus is just dead. Yes, the Nico ult is big, but the Chains of Corruption into the Rumble ult, and Clear just roasts everyone. And he just picked up Leandri's as well, so he was just melting people. Great time to have the Rumble turn up. A lot of value there. Vic was looking.
So Doran flashed in that trade in the top lane, and now he's dead.
He's regretting that a little bit.
Yeah. Going for that aggressive trade comes back to bite him when he was going for kind of a random walk in the river.
You know, we didn't talk much about top lane this game. Rumble has been just very obnoxious, very strong. I wasn't 100% certain what we were going to get out of the top lane matchup, but yeah, it just hasn't really... I mean, Doran's done fine, right, into clear, but Rumble's still Rumble. This champion is just still... just not okay. Not okay.
Not okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So it is Chemtech Soul, actually.
When will Rumble stop being broken in competitive?
When will Azir stop being broken in competitive? When will Corki stop being...
Corki comes and goes. Right?
Yeah, Corki does come and go, but he was there for a
At least
really
we get different shades
time.
of Corki, right? It's now Corki bot lane. It's now auto attack Corki,
I
right?
feel like if you're in the meta solidly as a S-tier pick for like a good 2+ years,
but at least
it's enough.
At least it's different, right?
It is different. It's a small step down for sure from Rumble and Azir, especially here in the LCK. So BNK actually finally taking a very slight gold lead. It's basically even, as we can see in the actual gold, but on the graph you can see it peak up there just a little bit.
Yeah, I think just so much teamfight power from BNK FearX. You know, even if they had a deficit going into these big teamfight moments, this is where they get really scary. There's a Chemtech Soul though, and I just don't think that really gives a lot of value to their composition. Sometimes, like, look, I'm not a fan of Chemtech Soul. We've been there a lot of times. There's a lot of times it doesn't give much value, but sometimes I'm like, hey, you have like a Cassante, he likes to get low in HP.
Yeah. Kellen kind of forcing an engage here. Will be punished for it, gets slowed up by the tidal wave, and just gets blown up. So, look, saw an opportunity and took it.
Even with Chemtech Soul, that's not going to save you there. Yeah, just I'm not sure many of your champions are really going to be sitting around on low HP. Kellen was trying to sit around on low HP, but he ran out of health in that situation. They did get Carrier's flash though, so he's perhaps, I mean, he was already a target, but more of a target now.
Perhaps. We'll have to wait and see. Clear out that ward, that pesky ward there on that Phalite. That ward gets so much value if you can place it, especially, I feel like, on the blue side. If you're winning, you just move on in, you place a ward there, you can see the jungler coming for the next minute.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, that's the thing, it's like it goes both ways, because it's like, it's a lot of value, but it's so telegraphed. You should expect a ward there. And the extended vision's only temporary, right?
For the next minute. A little extra information. Clear, level 15. Pretty scary. The same as Faker, who had the Rod of Ages level up. So this is one really scary Rumble. This isn't just your average Rumble. And Clear showed off what he could do in that last team fight as well, when everybody kind of piles in or gets CC'd for a long time, which their comp does.
Yeah. It isn't... actually, I don't know if he's gone cash. I don't think he has, based on his items. But I don't know. I didn't see earlier. But it's not like the first strike cashback that we saw. But like, you wouldn't go first strike into Jace. But like all the first strike cashback we saw Keen going, that was really disgusting. Where you just farm against a tank and have infinite money. Cashback really is just a rune of all time.
It's not kleptomancy.
We're getting a lot of throwbacks today. Living in the past.
Kleptomancy was certainly one of the runes of all time for sure.
Yeah.
That one broke a lot of matchups. Nuggery was very happy to use that every single game in the top lane.
I think if he was still playing, he would just play First Strike, Cashback on every champion.
Probably.
Triple Tonic as well.
I mean, it makes sense. You know, a lot of your power in this game comes from items and hitting spikes, and as long as you can do it as fast as possible, even if you fall
still
behind.
has the Adaptive Force Triple Tonic potion. He's waiting for his moment. 30 Adaptive Force, it's a lot.
Yeah, Faker used that in the bot play we saw the dive like 16 minutes ago.
The saddest is when you pop in, everyone just flashes out immediately. You're like, oh.
Yeah, well, they're going to go on in. You talked about targets. Carry is certainly one of them, and he is not long for this world, as nobody's really able to help them out. It's a double kill for Vikla, and now Clear gets onto that backline. Faker just going to TP out. Oh, barely gets away from the chains. And if he gets hit by that, obviously he gets interrupted and rooted. As Vikla looking for more, gets the knockback here on a Doran. I think Doran should be okay, just doesn't want to have to use his flash. And it was getting a little dicey there.
You know what? I did talk earlier about carry against Celestial opposition. I gotta apologize, because I don't think that would have done anything there. I just don't think there's much you can do when this composition wants to kill you. They are gunning for him. They just don't like to see fish on the rift. They turn him in the sushi.
Unless you're Fizz.
Well, we don't see Fizz very often either. Clear's in a bit of trouble. Oh, but Kellen's here.
Trying to punish him. Kellen does come in. There's the flash from Clear, just trying to disengage from this, but pays with red buff on the chase as well. Elects not to go in on it.
It's a nice flash pickup. Clear's ult's nearly up again, though, and he's level 16 now, so he's strong. Yeah, I just love that they're just like, let's just ult him, let's just take him out. And even with, it's a great bit of CC coming out from Carrier, but he's like so dead that like Ona dies with him. Like Carrier dies, and then like there's still damage coming to finish off Ona afterwards. It's a nice getaway from Faker there, though. But yeah, not a fun game to be playing Nami, is all I'm saying. He's trying, he's doing his best to stay alive, but he's just not long for this world.
Yeah, I mean, he saw everything except the Nocturne when he picked Nami. Obviously, the last pick in this case did go over to BNK, as T1, with the right of first selection, did take first pick.
I think it's a difficulty, and it's why this Nico pick's been so effective, because like, if he picked something that was like bulkier and more survivable, lane would have just been miserable.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, do you want to lose lane? Then you'll be more survivable after lane, but you'll have lost lane, and you'll probably just get picked anyway.
Yeah.
Or you have a better time in lane, but then this is what happens. But at least the game's closer, so pick your poison.
Yeah. Theoretically, something like Nami, if the fights are actually close, gonna have to hold that thought, as this time Carrier just flashes away. But now Vikla goes over the left side of the wall, instantly dies, gives the shutdown to Pays, and that's exactly the mistake T1 were looking for, as the equalizer gets big damage and might push them back, but it didn't hit Faker, who is leading the charge now, as Kellen is going to go down. Triple kill for Pays, as T1 just like that, one mistake, and they're ahead of the game.
Yeah, big flub there from BNK FearX, but good peel from T1. Carrier just immediately flashing over the wall. If Raptor wanted to go for him, he'd have to commit so deep, and in the end, he doesn't. It's Vikla who oversteps, and Pays makes him pay for it. Now 7-1 and 2. And you know, that conversation we're just having about, do you want to get picked out of lane but win lane? I think the decision to win lane was a great one, because look how strong Pays is.
Yeah.
Ends up taking down Vikla who oversteps, and then Pays just pumping out so much damage. That big one there, taking out the enemy jungler, and then Kellen tries to find this angle here onto Fake and just gets obliterated.
Yeah. The equalizer was very good, but it was basically the only thing that hit T1. And it didn't hit Faker, who was able to get that really nice angle.
And now the gold lead, I mean, they were pretty dead even. It's 4,000 for T1. Yeah, that's a gold graph.
Gold is fake, though. I'm not a believer. I am a believer in T1's ability to punish mistakes and make very few of their own.
I mean, if they can win from 14,000 gold down, I think
yeah.
when they're 5,000 gold up, odds are pretty positive.
It helps, for sure. Gold is still fake.
Also, Faker is close to actualizing all over.
Uh-oh. I hope they're ready. He's going to actualize and realize his dreams. They will not be memes in this game. He's going at third, no delay. And, you know, he is actually still 1,000 gold behind Vikla. Oh. But where the gold lead lies for T1 is in Pays. As we do have the TP coming in, nice flash there, but the equalizer still going to hit Pays. Doesn't have his Valkyrie, doesn't have flash, and eventually he will die as they do get him down. And also Owner, who went deep, dies to the Varus. And now it's basically just, okay, a dead Doran, and Faker's like, what happened to my team?
Just a great team fight from BNK FX. The dive comes in, and Pays does everything he can to dodge the Pop Blossom, but Claire just slides in and takes him out. This Rumble doing absurd damage. And Faker not quite ready to actualize all over the place. He survives, but can't put the damage back in return. Kellen comes in, nearly catches him, but look at this. Raptor tries to buy time, but Claire just goes up, slams him with the overheat. And then there's Zhonya's to buy time. Kellen moves forward, catches this route, and helps to take out the Jason. This is why even with the gold advantage, it's still so volatile into this composition, because you have squishy members. There's so much engage on this BNK FX composition, and now about 2,000 gold lead. The Red Bull Baron power play is at, it's -7, -52, -72. Wow.
And we got a Chemtech Drake, Chemtech Soul here for BNK if they can pick it up. It does just spawn.
Faker does have the actualizer though. He's hit it.
He's about to actualize all over BNK. And I do wonder if they recognize this, if they're willing to take a straight up fight, if they have tabs on Faker, who is right now in the mid lane.
Hayes does have no flash now.
Owner taking a bit of damage. They got to be careful. They are collapsing in on an Owner who does not have his flash, has to commit to the play, is so deep in the thick of 4 of them, doesn't get an opportunity to even smite. As Clear might be in a bit of trouble here, going face to face with Faker, who is going to actualize and picks up the shutdown. The chase still on. Pays full health. Is trying to Valkyrie forward and get even more value out of this play. And T1, they are not done with this one. You see the chase is on. Doran on the bottom side here, going to land a big shock blast as well. They take down Vikla. And it looks like finally BNK get away. They get the Chemtech Soul, which we talked about isn't the biggest value, but it's still a soul. And they will take it as T1 will look to push more.
Yeah, not the end of the world for T1 that was taken. They do manage to take down Claire and get a massive shutdown. I assume, I didn't actually check what his shutdown was, but he was 4-0.
Pretty large, I'd say.
I mean, they were down in gold, so I don't know. Can't say for sure what the shutdown was, but they did shut him down, at least. We'll see the replay on the fight. Do see a Gage initially onto Owen, and he makes a decision just to end up going in, but Clear ends up getting flanked by Faker on the rise. So he pushes forward. Great bubble here by Carrier. Faker just completely dismantles him, and with those upgraded Merc treads and the bulkiness of the rise, Clear can't do anything. Not the target. Oh, he was 1,000 gold Faker got there. So yes, there was a huge shutdown. My assumption was correct. And then they managed to push forward here. It was a great dodge from Pays on the seismic shove. So a lot of value picked up there from T1, even if they didn't get the soul.
As now we have equalizer here on a Faker, no ghost, no flash, and I think this will be more than enough. As Clear going to retake the top spot there on the damage dealt meter. And he has a full-on death cap.
He's had that for a while.
Yeah.
I honestly think he might be close to Zhonya's at this point.
Probably. Faker with the shutdown went back and picked up his own arm guard. So definitely very valuable there.
You know that fight they had around mid where he took out Pays? He's had those items since then. So I think he might just go base after a wave or so and pick up Zhonya's. Yeah, you can see he had the Rabadons for like 4 minutes. So that's my expectation. And then having that status again will be very powerful. Faker has picked up the Seeker's Arm Guard himself. Hayes nearly full build, going for the Infinity Edge next, I assume, which will put him at 100% crit. Won't have the Bloodthirster though, but he does have some sustain from Carrier. It's not the biggest deal.
Yeah, Baron's up. We got Elder in 3 minutes. This is a spot where T1 are very comfortable based on their recent games.
Oh,
actually, their most recent game.
They did just TP in, so I assume he bought the Zhonya's. We can't see the items right now. But
Good assumption, good assumption. FaZe is just kind of... Diablo trying to step up to them, and FaZe says no. They turn out to the Zhonya's, though. That's not going to work, but they're able to front to back in here with Faker in the front, the tank of the team. Clear gets a ton of damage, but more importantly, he dies, and the rest of his team is so low. They get the catch here on a Raptor in the back line. And Vikla, nice shove back. Looks like he might be able to live for now, actually, because of that, but it should be another Baron here for T1.
Yeah, Diablo just disrespects the rapid fire there and just walks straight up to FaZe, takes so much damage, and it feels like it was almost a panicked start from BNK4X. Like, what is happening? So AD carry, we have to do something. Clear does so much work in this fight, but it's just not quite enough. I feel like a big aspect was him not having flash here. But yeah, I mean, it's rapid fire. It's also the buff from the Nami. Just disrespects him. And then here, look how much damage Clear ends up doing. And also, look, he last tick turns it towards Doran with the extra damage and just bins him so he dies. But the rest of the team is kind of just crumbling. I think T1 doing a great job as a unit here. And FaZe finding this great angle, also dodging the Chains of Corruption and the Equalizer. If he got hit, he was just dead.
Yeah.
But Clear is a one-man army right now.
I mean, he's still doing damage with so many threats in his face. Perfectly flashes and Valkyries out of the way.
Oh, these Valks are so good. Like, 3 Valks, the Unraveled Earth. If he's slow, just slightly, he's dead. And didn't actually go the IE, went the GA. Honestly, he has a ton of damage already, so...
yeah, and if they go all in onto him, now there's more than enough damage besides him while he's dead.
Yeah, I think you could probably sell the Collector eventually and get IE instead of that. Could well be the decision he goes for. For now, do see it's Elder in 50 seconds. It's a huge gold lead for T1. I think main thing, though, is also the break points, because Vikla's approaching a Rabadon's not quite there yet.
Trying to get in onto Doran. That was actually a solo effort from Raptor. Still gets the flash out of Doran.
Yeah, so it's 47 seconds on Raptor's ult, and it's 30 seconds on the Elder. So I actually like that play. It'll be a little late, but the Elder takes a decent amount of time to take down. So as long as T1 aren't able to just straight rush it down, which with how these things plays out, I don't think they'll be able to. You'll have the ult back up for the fight, and now Doran has no flash. But they don't have that much control in the area is the only concern. So we'll see how it plays out. Raptor trying to move in here.
I mean, BNK only have one choice, and that is to approach the Elder. So T1 posturing aggressively, just not allowing them to enter.
That's one concern, though, is not having the ult does make it harder to approach. And maybe T1 call is just to start up, but it's 20,000 HP.
And Faker's not dealing damage to it. He's actually fighting with Clear here on the left.
And winning.
Does do a lot to him. The Equalizer also only really going to hit Faker. Meanwhile, we got the G8 proc here as FaZe takes down the Nico, and Raptor bites the dust as well. They were desperate to enter into this Elder pit, and instead they end up taking a losing fight to BNK. So now T1 should have a free Elder under their belt. Yeah, felt very rushed to get in there, and I think they just need to take it a bit slower, wait for some cooldowns, and the Elder was still very healthy. You know, I guess they didn't have full information, didn't have full control, but it felt like a desperate play from BNK4X, and T1 so slow, so controlled, are now pushing up into the base, and the Elder's about to be secured as well. If FaZe autos someone, I don't think it's quite there. I think without IE, he's not just going to one-auto Elder proc, but it won't be far away. Depends on who as well. And they have a lot of other poke in this Jace. Doran isn't the most fed, but he's ahead of the Rumble at this point in time, as looks like they're waiting.
Yeah, maximizing time with it. So we'll see the replay. Clay is trying to play on the flank, but he's just really got a bad matchup into Faker. because Faker has those upgraded Merc Treads and is very bulky. It's very hard for him to deal with them. Look at that Seraph shield! Yeah. It's huge! And then Vikla tries to move over to help, but he's just not that strong. Doesn't even have the Rabadon yet. Diablo tries to help take out Faker and just really isn't there for support, and the team kind of just crumbles. Again, they have great engage tools, but they need to go. They didn't have the vision, they didn't have the setup. And Kellen dies before he can even get his ult actually to connect onto Pays.
Yeah. It was kind of him and Raptor on the right side by themselves without a Rumble supporting them, just kind of going in, forcing it.
Oh, and Pays
the rest of the team behind them.
Now sold the collective IE, so he's
almost 7,000 gold ahead of his opponent.
He's now full build. Because normally, right, when someone's got full items, you're like, well, at least they can't get more items. Well, he's an 80 carry, so he has 6 items.
Unlimited items.
And now he's sold the collective for an IE, so now he's like really optimizing.
Yeah. That Edge of Night is getting some mega value in this game, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
There have been some accelerated shock blasts that hit that. There have been obviously a lot of missiles, as this is just the decoy.
They have a minute 10 on the Elder to stall out. I'm not feeling too hot on BNK for extra chances. Bot inhib's already down, obviously. Top inhib's going down.
They have a wave coming into mid.
Yeah, I think mid inhib
on that one.
Mid inhib's gone.
All right, well, they're going to wall in. Faker decides to take the Realm Warp and go towards Vikla. It's a big shield in his face.
I mean, he gets low, but they just don't punish.
Yeah. And now they have the poke. I mean, Vikla doesn't have Edge of Night, no Banshees, obviously, so taking a ton from Pays, who is the raid boss in this game. Has the GA, has the Nami, barrier and flash available. There isn't a lot that he can't do at this point. BNK, I'm sure they're looking for one opportunity to get onto him, but I'm not seeing it right now. Bit of damage goes in Vikla! No! That's kind of that one combo you were talking about. Vikla is going to get healed up as Owner goes very deep and does go into the GA. And Pace is just running over the equalizer, doesn't care at all. He's trying to do the damage as Carrier tries to hit a bubble, not going to. The C1 do get pretty low, and the flash is coming out here from Diablo, but the damage from Pace is a bit more. Pace getting incredibly low himself. They take out Diablo and the rest of the team, and T1 will end the game up 16k gold.
It came to setups when it came to Pace on this Corki. He just felt almost untouchable at times. Other than that one fight where Clear just beeline for him, it felt so hard to deal with this little Yordle in his little plane.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why you picked that Corki, even before seeing the jungle, just knowing that the jungle is going to also be something that dives. And then even with the Nocturne, he was able to just Valkyrie, flash, and perfectly time things to get out of dodge when he needed it most. So
I think
very well played.
What was so impressive was he was playing around his rapid fire procs and going so aggressively forward and then just using...
정면이야 가운데.
열심히 하거든. 마지막 써보자.
오케이 이번 라인. 이번에 봐도 돼.
이번에 봐도 돼.
나가 살려 헬 깔아줘.
살려 못 잡았어.
괜찮아.
나좀 빨렸고. 아래 받을 수 있냐?
봐도 돼. 나
나 죽었어.
타워 깰 수 있나? 타워.
타워로 가야 돼. 타워로.
이 2초야?
왜 이렇게 아파요 얘네. 바루스 노플.
바루스
타워 쳐봐. 타워. 우리 장로 끝났다잉?
확인했어. 나도.
세긴 하네.
아 예?